We're bringing in my former teammate. Me and him are much closer than what him and Plaxico Burress would ever have been or would ever be. Happy to be joined on the show by two-time Super Bowl champ Eli Manning. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Easy
Thanks for having me
money.
on. What's up,
Absolutely.
Lex? What's up, TJ? How you doing, LaVar?
All right,
What's
real
up,
well,
Eli?
man. First off, how's life going, man? Like, what you got going on these days?
You know, life's been good. Obviously, kind of retirement and last year, and kind of, it was a weird year with COVID and everything. So really took the year off and just kind of figure out what I wanted to jump into, and so that, which was good family time, raising 4 kids. But now we'll start getting a little busier in the fall, doing some stuff with the Giants, doing some stuff, calling some Monday night games with Peyton.
Okay.
Starting kind of an alternative way to watch it on some ESPN Plus stuff, and so so that'll be fun. So I thought I might try to get away from football, but can't get too far away. It's just that's what I know. That's what we all know.
Hey, Eli, we're watching high school football, and you have a nephew that's. They say he can be the best man, and is that even possible with the uncles that he has?
Yeah, no pressure on him. No pressure on him at
right
all,
on Arch,
right?
huh?
Yeah.
No pressure on him.
Yeah, he's a good kid, and he can definitely throw it and sling it around. And I guess the speed must skip a generation, because Peyton and I did not get the speed, and he can run around. So he can definitely run around much better than Peyton and I could, and so it's fun. I've he's been playing since his freshman year. He's gonna be a junior. I haven't been able to get down to New Orleans and see him live play yet, so I'm hoping to get down there this fall and check him out. I've been able to stream and watch him. I've thrown with him this summer a little bit in the past couple summers. So you know what, he's totally into it. He loves he's asking good questions about coverages and schemes, and so I think he's enjoying learning the game of football and then going out there and competing on Friday nights. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, yo, Easy, you say you was trying to get away from football, but it looks like you got into the hot sauce business. So every time I see you on the Frank's hot sauce commercial,
got that Frank's Red Hot. Got that Frank's Red Hot.
Hey, you probably got it all through the house on every table.
I got it. Throw it on everything. Put it on my cereal in the morning. Throw it in a drink at night. Whatever.
You know what I mean? A little bloody,
exactly.
Hey, look, so I got a question for you, man. Out of this year's draft class, who do you think, which quarterback has the most upside to go and have success in the rookie year? Don't dodge the question, man. Answer the question. Which rookie quarterback you think has the most upside to go out and have success this year?
I think, it's an interesting question. I mean, just kind of, when you look at, obviously, when you're the first pick in the draft and you're going to a team that has the first pick in the draft, there's a reason. They earn that first pick, by being really, really bad. So obviously, when you have Jacksonville, and I was able to watch their preseason game the other night. They're not a strong team right now, and so I think Trevor Lawrence has a ton of talent, and will compete and do well, but. I think it might be kind of similar with Zach Wilson, but so I think Justin Fields just if I don't know if he's been named the starter, but I have a feeling he could get in there really quick, and just his ability to extend plays, to run around, to kind of help him get out of trouble, and kind of those guys that can run around. If things aren't perfect, that's still a weapon. They don't have to force it. They don't have to throw it into spots they don't need to, because they can tuck it and run and create plays. And I think just with that defense, and they're not too far off from being a playoff caliber team. And so I think Justin Fields, if he gets in there, could have potential to have some early on success, just because I think he's on a little bit better team than the other guys.
Eli, your draft year was documented very well, and obviously the other guy that ended up going where you were drafted to had a fine career as well. just looking at all of the conversations surrounding these rookie quarterbacks and just kind of the reasoning you just gave just now, do you think that your career has any type of similarities in the way that it turns out if you end up being with the Chargers versus being with the Giants?
I mean, who knows, right? I mean, you just have no idea.
Hell no.
How things, right? Yeah, I wouldn't have Plaxico wide open in the left corner of the end zone on a fade route on a little,
That's for damn sure.
A little slug out. So I know I wouldn't have had that exact moment, and so it's one of those deals. I kind of knew right when all that went down and everything was going on that I wasn't going to second guess anything. I wasn't going to look back and say what if. And,
right.
And I think I've held true to that. There's been no what ifs. I've enjoyed obviously every moment of playing in New York and with that organization. And so, I don't have no regrets. And who knows how things would have turned out. Better, worse, different. Who knows?
Let me just add to this, and I'm curious because now with all of the NIL situations taking place in college football right now and branding and different things like that, as it applied to the Manning brand, how amazing was it to be able to actually end up being in one of the second largest media markets in the country and be able to do the things that you have done? I mean, that obviously a lot of people did not think about branding in that way, but you're a legacy player. Obviously, Big Archie had paved the way, created such an amazing brand to be a part of, and it's seemingly now, we just talked about earlier in the segment, your nephew is falling in line with it. All of you guys, everybody, all your brothers, you all have been good players at some point in time in your career. Just how much of that played a part, the branding aspect of what a Manning represented in all of this?
Yeah, well, I think, when I got to New York, obviously it's, big market. And it's one of those deals, you can do a few things, but you really want to make sure that your focus is on playing football and trying to play at a high level and trying to win games and to earn the respect of your teammates and do all those things before, you start showing up in a ton of commercials and endorsing things. And all of a sudden, if you're not playing real well on the football field, your teammates can resent you a little bit. I get worried about that in college football, just about some of these young guys maybe coming in there. And that was the great thing about college, I thought, is that you didn't have to deal with that. Everybody was kind of in the same boat. Everybody got the same scholarship check, or unless, if you're a walk-on, obviously it was different. But, everybody was living together. No one had a lot of money. Everybody just kind of, figured things out. All of a sudden, you throw a bunch of money at people. You throw endorsement deals and guys on, in commercials and whatnot in college, and a guy doesn't go out there and play real well. There can be some resentment amongst the locker room, and you just don't, you don't want that happening to 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. You just don't know if they can handle that. I mean, it's a lot thrown at them just to go from high school to college. Now all of a sudden you put a little money in their pocket. Are they going to spend it well? They're going to use it well, and can they just handle everything that's thrown at them? And so, I think that's kind of what advice I've, kind of talked to a little bit with my oldest brother Cooper, and as he's dealing with his nephew and this kind of new world of college and the NILs. And so that's kind of, how I approached it when I got to the Giants. We had some big personalities. You had Michael Strahan and Tiki Barber and those guys. And I said, well, I gotta earn the respect from my teammates and win some games before all of a sudden I want to be, seen in a bunch of commercials and doing, more than I should be without my play on the field deserving it.
Eli, let's talk NFL now. Real simple. Who's your top 5 quarterbacks in today's game? Who do you like? They don't have to be the best, but who do you like?
That's tough. I mean, obviously, you look at guys. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is playing at an extremely high level, has been for the last years. Tom Brady, you know, he just wins championships, right? I mean,
Unless he plays
there's nothing
against
to
you.
that. Yeah.
Go ahead and
But
say that. Go ahead and let us
he's
know.
40-something years old, new team, new organization, coaches, offense, and he just finds ways to win championships. You know, I think Lamar Jackson, I think, you know, has so much just potential. Their offense is tough to go against just because of the dynamics of the run game and the motions and the looks, and also you throw play action. I mean, it's just, I remember, you know, kind of preparing for a Baltimore defense was always tough when they had Ray Lewis and it was those Rex Ryan defenses and they're all over. I mean, you felt like you had to prepare for 10 hours of watching film a day just to, you know, somewhat get a tip on it. I feel like that's what it is, kind of watching Baltimore's offense now. Just so many, you know, multiple things and going on. You can't really do. You got to kind of change your defensive philosophy a little bit when you go against that. You know, I'm trying to think the other top quarterbacks. I mean, I'd say, you know, let's just. What's that?
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen, yeah.
Mahomes?
Yeah, I think
Mahomes?
Josh Allen. Yeah, obviously Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes is playing at an extremely high level. He just creates plays. They make plays. I think Kelsey, I mean, he's got talent, obviously. I think Kelsey could be the MVP every year. You know, that guy, some of the routes he runs, I want to see what the actual route is on the playbook versus what he does.
Right.
I mean, I think it's one of those deals as a coach, sometimes you're like, hey, don't coach him too much. Just kind of let him figure it out because all he does is get open and make huge plays.
Right.
And so, you know, you don't want to mess with him. But, yeah, Mahomes, what he does. And, yeah, and Jared Allen, I think, as, you know, the way he's kind of grown into a really good quarterback, I've been impressed how he's just, you know, accepted, you know, kind of just that Bills community, that Bills way of life. It's a different culture there, but he loves it. He loves being in Buffalo. He's accepted, you know, that community is home, and, you know, they're playing at an extremely high level. He throws the ball down the field. He runs. He's tough. You know, he's fun to watch play football.
Eli,
you know,
how was
Plaxico
as a teammement? how was he as a teammate?
I'd say Plaxico is a great teammate, and you know, he you know, he's one of those guys. I remember one time. So, you know, we were locker mates, and somehow kind of our playbooks got mixed up. Or I had my playbook, but I had his notebook and my playbook. They just got mixed up.
You lost yours. Just tell them the truth, man. You lost it.
Yeah, I lost mine. But somehow I got yours. Somehow I got your notebook in mine, and so I'm going through it, and I'm reading the notes. And so, you know, Plex is always in the back of the room. He didn't want anybody to know he was kind of paying attention. And all of a sudden, you look at his notes, and he had written down everything the offensive coordinator had said. He had the cleanest penmanship. He's writing down everything, but, you know, he wanted everybody to think he was sleeping in the back, not paying attention, but he was on it, and so he was always prepared. You know, in game time practices, he knew the checks. He knew what I was going to check. He knew the site adjustments that week. He knew all the new plays and what to do. So, you know, that's kind of what a professional is. They're on top of things. They know their job. And so he always knew what to do, and because of it, he performed, man. He got the games. You know, that Super Bowl year, he didn't practice all year. He had the hurt knee, and but he showed up in games. I think the first, 8 games, he had touchdowns without, practicing one time. So then as we got to the playoffs, he was practicing. You go to Green Bay, dominate in the cold. We throw the old fade stop, right, Plax? That was it.
Absolutely.
If you beat the corner, I throw it down the field. If not, I just throw a high back shoulder.
There it is. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to win, but if I don't get over the top, just
it's
throw
coming
it to
back.
the back shoulder.
It's coming on that back shoulder.
Hey, one last question, Eli.
It was kind of the opposite. We called the back shoulder and then adjusted to the
right.
win.
Right.
Talking to Eli Manning. Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Go ahead, Plex.
Eli, one last question, man, real simple. Who was your favorite wide receiver to throw to?
Oh, my God.
The one that's open, baby. The one
there you go.
I'm not picky.
The bailout. He took the bailout.
Hey, Eli.
Plex, hey, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you about this, Plex. It's good about having a 6'6", 235-pound receiver is that, when they're not open, they're still open because you can throw them open. So you had that, and you would manhandle some kids on a slant route. You know, you throw that, you go on the outside and do that little swim move and just knock them in the head and get about 10 yards of separation. And you know, they would call you for offensive PI about once every 15 times you did it, but it was worth it for the other 15 times you got wide open.
Hey, Eli, let me ask you about. There have been a lot of interesting perspectives on the Aaron Rodgers situation in Green Bay. There is no ownership there. They have a board, and they kind of govern how things go there. And a lot of people continue to say this is it for Aaron Rodgers. I continue to say Aaron Rodgers wanted to have a voice. Aaron Rodgers wanted to be respected for the things that he's accomplished based off of his resume, and knowing that it is hard and difficult to get. I mean, heck, I chose coming to play with you guys over my other option, which was to go to Green Bay. When you look at his scenario, what's your take on it? Do you think that it is a foregone conclusion that Aaron Rodgers will finish out this year and be done, or do you think that the things that you've seen him do, the things that – because I've never heard a quarterback just really kind of lay out the way he laid it out in his first presser coming into training camp, just about how things have been ran, what he would like for his involvement to be. I've never heard it laid out that way by a player, by a quarterback of his stature. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I was confused by it a little bit, and just trying to understand what he was trying to get out of it. What was kind of the long-term objective of him, kind of going out and calling out the management. And so, you just never saw much of that before, and all of a sudden you're seeing it, a lot more. I mean, even Russell Wilson did it a little bit,
right?
And a couple of quarterbacks have kind of come out. So I just don't know. What's the positive in that? I think it's a kind of a bad look amongst your teammates, bad look from the fans. He especially Aaron, he's had so much success there over his career to think he wants to move or change organizations. At that point, you just don't. So I think it's an interesting deal of how it played out. I think I think he kind of knew that that the guys behind him weren't really the answer. Otherwise it would have been an easy move for Green Bay to say, hey, we will move on from you. But I think they know they need him, and they need him to play this year, and probably want him to play the next couple of years. Unless they start, looking at drafting a replacement for him, in the next year's draft. So
you don't think Jordan Love is the answer?
That's kind of me reading between the lines.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
If I think he was the answer, or
then
if
A-Rod would be gone.
Thought he was the answer,
he'd be gone.
And he'd be gone. I think A-Rod kind of probably knows that he's not the answer, also, and so he kind of could play that hand a little bit.
Wow. All right. I mean, finally somebody sensible that comes on our show and basically agrees with everything that I've said.
That makes you sensible.
That's Eli, man. Hey, bro, we appreciate you making some time for us, man.
Eli,
good to hear your voice,
man.
Hey, easy, man. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, I'm gonna go check out Arch Manning myself this fall.
Go check him out.
I'm checking him out in New Orleans this Friday, baby. I'm gonna go check him out.
For what it's worth, Eli Manning was the best quarterback I played with as a teammate in the NFL. Just for what it's worth. My guy, man, appreciate you coming on. That was the great Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champ. That's Plaxico Burress. This is TJ Houshmandzadeh. I'm LaVar Arrington. You're listening to Up On Game.